I always thought Rowan and I had the perfect marriage. I always thought Rowan and I had the perfect marriage. We met in college, young and full of dreams. We built a life together from scratch, a beautiful house, two wonderful kids, and what I believed was a bond that couldn't be broken. For 15 years he was my rock, my best friend, my everything. But one ordinary Tuesday, my perfect world came crashing down around me, and I realized it was all just a beautifully constructed lie. It was our anniversary dinner. I had booked a table at our favorite restaurant, the one where he proposed all those years ago. I spent the afternoon getting ready, feeling that familiar flutter of excitement. But when Rowan came home, he seemed distant. He barely looked at the new dress I'd bought for the occasion. He said he had a last-minute work emergency and couldn't make it. My heart sank, but I tried to be understanding. "It's okay, honey," I said, forcing a smile. "We can celebrate this weekend." He gave me a quick, distracted kiss and rushed out. I stood there, a little deflated, and decided to have a quiet dinner with the kids instead. Later that evening, my friend Sarah called. She was at a new trendy bar downtown and insisted I join her for a drink to cheer me up. I was hesitant at first, but the thought of sitting at home alone felt worse. So I got a babysitter and went to meet her. The bar was packed, buzzing with music and conversation. As Sarah and I found a small table, my eyes scanned the crowd. And then I saw him. My husband, Rowan. He wasn't in a business meeting. He was at a corner table, leaning in close to a woman I'd never seen before. She was laughing, twirling a strand of her blonde hair, and his hand was resting intimately on her back. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. My heart hammered against my ribs, a painful, frantic rhythm. It had to be a mistake, a misunderstanding. Maybe she was a client? But the way he looked at her, the way his eyes crinkled in that familiar smile he usually reserved just for me, it shattered any illusion I was desperately trying to hold on to. He then leaned in and kissed her. It wasn't a friendly peck on the cheek. It was a deep, passionate kiss, the kind we hadn't shared in years. And he did it right there in a public place, as if he didn't have a care in the world, as if I didn't exist. The pain was sharp and physical, a white-hot knife twisting in my gut. I felt a wave of nausea and fury wash over me. Sarah grabbed my arm, her eyes wide with shock. "Alina, are you okay?" I couldn't speak. I just stared, my mind reeling. The man I had loved for half my life, the father of my children, was cheating on me. And he was so brazen about it, so confident that I would never find out. Or maybe he just didn't care if I did. That thought hurt more than anything. He thought I was weak. He thought I would stay silent. I watched them for another minute, a cold, hard resolve forming in the pit of my stomach. The hurt was still there, but something else was rising to the surface. Anger. A powerful, clarifying anger. I wasn't going to cry in a corner. I wasn't going to let him break me. I turned to Sarah, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. "I'm more than okay," I said. "I'm just getting started." I didn't confront him at the bar. That would have been too easy, too predictable. He wanted a scene? He wanted drama? No, I was going to give him something much worse. I was going to give him silence. I went home, my mind racing. The next morning, I acted as if nothing had happened. I made him breakfast, packed his lunch, and kissed him goodbye as he left for work. He was oblivious, humming a tune as he walked out the door. The sheer audacity of it was staggering. But my performance was just a cover. As soon as he was gone, I called a lawyer. I needed to know my rights, my options. I spent the next few days gathering evidence. I went through our shared accounts, phone records, credit card statements. The trail was laughably easy to follow. Expensive dinners I wasn't invited to, hotel bookings in our own city, gifts for someone named Jessica. The name felt like another punch to the gut. Every new piece of evidence fueled my resolve. The sadness was still there, a constant ache in my chest, but it was being overshadowed by a need for justice. For myself and for my children. He had not only betrayed me, he had betrayed our family. He had risked everything we had built for cheap thrills. While I was planning my exit, Rowan's behavior became even more arrogant. He started coming home late regularly, smelling of a perfume that wasn't mine. He was careless, cocky. He believed I was the same compliant, trusting wife I had always been. He saw my silence as acceptance, my calm demeanor as ignorance. He couldn't have been more wrong. The day I decided to act was a Friday. He came home from work, dropped his briefcase by the door, and announced he was going on a business trip for the weekend. "It's a last-minute team building thing," he said, not even bothering to look me in the eye. I knew exactly what kind of team building it was. It was a weekend getaway with Jessica. I just smiled and nodded. "Okay, honey. Have a safe trip." I even helped him pack, a serene smile plastered on my face. Inside, my heart was a block of ice. As he kissed the kiss goodbye and drove away, I felt a strange sense of liberation. It was the end of an era and the beginning of my new life. The moment his car was out of sight, my plan went into motion. I had already arranged for a moving truck. My sister and a few close friends arrived, and we worked with quiet efficiency. We packed up my belongings and everything for the children. I took the things that mattered, the things that were truly mine: photo albums, the kiss drawings, the quote my grandmother had made for my wedding. A wedding that now felt like a scene from someone else's life. As I walked through the house for the last time, I didn't feel sadness. I felt relief. This house was no longer a home. It was a stage for his lies. I left a single envelope on the polished dining room table. Inside were the divorce papers my lawyer had prepared, along with a few printouts of his hotel bookings with Jessica and a single glossy photo. It was a picture I'd discreetly taken on my phone that night at the bar. A perfect shot of him kissing her. I didn't write a long emotional letter. I just wrote one sentence at the bottom of the photo: "I hope she was worth it. Goodbye, Rowan." Then I took my children and we left. We went to a new apartment I had secretly rented, a bright, sunny place that felt like a fresh start. It was smaller than our house, but it was ours. It was a place free of deceit. I can only imagine Rowan's shock when he returned on Sunday night, expecting to walk back into his perfect life. He would have found a half-empty house and the undeniable proof of his betrayal. He called my phone dozens of times, sent a flood of frantic texts, a mix of apologies, excuses, and angry accusations. I didn't answer. His words meant nothing to me anymore. The divorce was messy, of course. He tried to fight it, to paint me as unstable, but the evidence was overwhelming. His arrogance had been his downfall. He had underestimated me. He thought I was just a quiet, unassuming wife who would quietly accept his disrespect. He never realized that a woman's silence doesn't always mean submission. Sometimes, it's the calm before the storm. It's been a year since that night. Rebuilding my life hasn't been easy, but every day I feel stronger. My kids are happy and thriving, and I've discovered a resilience within myself that I never knew I had. I learned that my worth isn't defined by a man's loyalty, and that sometimes, the most empowering thing you can do is walk away from someone who doesn't deserve you. He thought I would stay silent. But I found my voice, and I used it to say goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever been in a similar situation, know that you are not alone, and you have the strength to start over. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories. See you next time.